So have you got to the point where you're thinking of finally coming off the tools? Well, it's a big decision to make, because if you're anything like me, you've probably worked as a tradesman since you've left school, and it's what you know and what you're used to. But maybe now, after years of working on the tools, your situation has changed and you're weighing up your options. Possibly you're physically tired of working all day and then doing paperwork all evening. Or maybe you need to earn a bit more money and feel trapped by being on a day rate. Maybe you've got a slight injury or a bad back, because let's face it, being a tradesman is taxing on the body, isn't it? You're working in awkward positions, it can really take its strain after a number of years doing that. Or maybe you've realised that you're getting a bit older and you just don't want to be on the tools forever. You don't want to physically have to come home filthy and tired and exhausted every day. Or possibly you realise you can just achieve a lot more in life and you've not reached your potential yet and you're ready for the next step. Well, if you feel like that and you're seriously considering coming off the tools, then you've come to the right place. I was in exactly the same position many years back. I was working as a carpenter, I had my own company, but it was a real slog, it was real hard graft. And I remember I used to look at friends of mine who I thought had made it in construction, and they seemed to be driving around, they were pricing up work or checking up on sites or just sitting in the cafe drinking tea. And I thought to myself, yeah, I want to be like that. I really used to envy them. And there was me, I was physically working all day, pricing up work in the evenings, doing all my paperwork at night. And I wasn't really earning a great deal of money compared to my friends who I thought had made it. And I really just wanted to come off the tools, but I wasn't sure how to get there. I wasn't sure how to get enough work. I wasn't sure if I'd make enough money if I was using subcontractors. How would I price jobs correctly? I had all these ifs and buts, and it really held me back. But what changed for me was that I had a coaching session. And the coaching session is really good, actually. On one of my first meetings, this coach told me outright, she said, "Greg, your business will not grow until you start working on it rather than in it." Now that was the first time I'd heard that phrase, and now it's used all the time and made famous by Michael Gerbit in the E-Myth. If you've not read that book, please do. It's a book that will completely change your view on how to run a small business. But those words, you've got to work on your business rather than in it. Those words rattled around for a while, and I could really see the sense in that. I couldn't grow my business unless I stepped off the tools. I had to work on the business rather than in it. And that's what I decided to do there and then. But I didn't really know how. How was I going to get work? How many jobs was I going to have to run before I made a profit? How would I do my accounting? I had all these unknowns. But if I'm honest, I went into it headlong. I spent money on advertising that didn't work. Back then, I didn't have the power of social media to harness. And I made a lot of mistakes. But if I'm honest, it was definitely the best decision I'd ever made. A lot went wrong, but it was the right decision to make. And it was all a little bit of trial and error back then. But gradually, after a while, I got there in the end. I found a niche product that I was good at, and for me that was loft conversions. And we ended up becoming one of the most respected companies in my local area for doing loft conversions. And it worked out really well. The business I created ended up in the millions, but that's another story. But if I had my time again when starting out, I'd seek more guidance, or I'd get a coach on how to set up the business. And that's why I'm offering a 10-week unique program called Mallets to Manager. And what it's designed to do, it's designed to give you the strategy and the confidence to come off the tools and become a manager of your own company within 10 weeks. Now, the beauty of this program is there's nothing out there like this. It's not just generic business advice, it's specific for the construction industry, as that's what I know inside out. I know how to help you create a successful business in construction. And this 10-week course, although it's mapped out what we do within the 10 weeks, it's designed specifically for you. You see, a plumber who works directly for builders will have a completely different strategy to a carpenter who just fits kitchens for homeowners. They'll have completely different strategies, so that the training is designed specifically for you and your niche. Now, within the 10 weeks, we look at how to build a sustainable business model. We'll help you discover your own niche. We'll help you set up your social media profiles and how to set up a social media strategy. We'll look at funnels and how implementing them will increase your lead conversion. We'll look at how you can generate leads, both organic methods and paid. We'll ensure that you're looking like a professional company, from the way you do your quotes to the way you present yourself. We spend time discussing strategies for building partnerships with others, which can help you bring in more clients and further profits. You'll also learn how to capture 5-star reviews and how to build up your portfolio. And you'll understand some of the legal requirements of running a business. Now that might sound a little bit boring, but the legal requirements are an essential item to get right if you start employing people or using subcontractors. You want to do that to ensure you're fully protected. And then when we've done all of that, we discuss your next phase of growth now that you've got these brilliant foundations in place. Because once you've implemented all of this, you'll really be flying, and it's up to you how far you want to take things. You know, if you want to get your business to £250,000 a year, £500,000 or more, well, that can easily be done. Or maybe you just want to drive around, price up work, visit sites, and sit in the cafe all day drinking tea. That's okay too. But the important thing is that we make the transition from coming off the tools to becoming a manager as successful as possible, so you're not looking back and regretting the decision and wasting lots of money. But talking of regrets, if this is something you want to do, and maybe you've talked about this for quite a while but have not taken action yet, well, I'll just say, don't come back to this video in a year's time when maybe you've got an injury or your hand's been forced in some way or another. Don't regret the decision not to take action, otherwise nothing will change in life for you. So if this sounds of interest to you and you finally want to make the decision to come off the tools, then that's brilliant. Click on book a strategy session below and you've made the first correct decision that will end up changing your business life for the better. Look forward to speaking to you soon.